I ended the story saying that one day I'll do the story about meeting Henry Miller. And that was, I haven't written yet because I have to find a funny part about it. But well, my first wife, I'm married now for the second time. My first wife, her parents were Esperantists. They spoke Esperanto. And one of the first person I met in the United States when I came was Forrest Ackerman, who writes The Monster magazine, because he's also an Esperantist. They spoke Esperanto. So one day I'm having dinner with my wife and my in-laws, and they say, "Oh, tomorrow we're supposed to have dinner with this pornographer," and because he's married to a Japanese woman, and her parents are Esperantists. They speak Esperanto, this universal language. And a pornographer married to a Japanese woman that speaks Esperanto, that sounds very strange. And says, "What's his name?" Says, "Henry Miller." That's not a pornographer. That's the best writers in the world. "Oh, he writes pornography." He says, "Well, if you don't want to go, Lily and I would love to go because my wife speaks Esperanto." And, "Oh, yes, sure." So they call him, and the Japanese person was delighted. So we went there, and we had dinner with Henry Miller, his wife, my wife, and myself. And the parents went to have dinner with my in-laws because they didn't want to have nothing to do with this pornographer. So, of course, Henry Miller and I kept talking about it, and we just spent a whole evening wonderful at his house, talking about everything. And I have brought, of course, some of my math pocket books. And he said, "These are very funny, but you should do something serious. This is silly." You know? That's what I do. He kept saying, you know, and he kept talking about all his. He couldn't sleep. He was insomniac, and he will draw these magnificent paintings while he couldn't sleep. You know? So we had a magnificent evening and at his house. And, I saw him again like about a month later. He had a cocktail party and we were invited. So that was about it. But I can write a very funny story about that meeting with Esperanto and him telling me that I should get into something serious. That was too silly, those things that I was doing. But he was a very nice, very, very intelligent man. But it was all mine for one day. Yeah. Yes.